The Overwatch 2 rank problem. And to be quite honest with you guys, this is a video I wanted to make ever since I started making content for Overwatch 2 in general. And there is a lot to discuss in today's video because there's so much wrong with it. When it comes to ELO hell, for example, I'm going to be going over that like I promised you guys in the previous video. I'm going to be talking about all types of ranks. We're going to be talking about bronze all the way to top 500 and all the issues that are just throughout all the ranks and what people are going through if you're a DPS, tank, or support. So once again, a lot of good information there for you guys. But I just want to take a moment and appreciate all the lovely comments that you guys have left me in the last video. It's amazing. You know, like I said, I like to voice my opinion and I love reading you guys' comments, whether it be negative or positive. At the end of the day, it's you guys' opinion. So thank you guys so much for all the support. As always, make sure you guys do drop a sub because I upload daily Overwatch content ranging from all types of guides, tips, and updates as well. Let's continue on with the video. So we're going to be talking about basically ELO hell first. We're going to start off with ELO hell, the big elephant in the room. This is something I want to talk about. Is it real? The quick answer to this is yes. Without a doubt, 100% it is real. So if you're confused, what does it mean? And honestly, what is ELO hell and how does hell go with ELO? Basically what it is that you're kind of stuck in the ranks. Even though you are a good player, you are not able to escape it, right? Thus the word hell in that sense, right? So that's what it is. And in my opinion, it is most prominent in the low ranks rather than the high ranks. So for example, you're more likely to be stuck in ELO hell in bronze. And let me explain to you why, right? So Overwatch 2 is set up in a 5v5 manner, right? So you have 5 players versus 5 players. Simply put, key here is you have 1 tank only, 2 supports, and 2 DPS. You're like, okay, how does that tie into the ELO hell? Well, here's the thing. Let's say you're a god tier SOJOURN or a god tier Tracer, Ashe, etc. and you're pretty good at the game. If your tank is bad, the composition automatically just falls down to the ground. It does not mean much. Your damage does not help you. You have no protection. Your supports get wiped out and you just die. So Overwatch is set up in a way, especially now in a 5v5 in Overwatch 2, in a way that you can't really carry the game, especially if your tank was a vital role. Now we only have 1 tank instead of 2 in Overwatch 1 is bad, right? So that's just one example. Another example, let's say someone goes AFK. You're kind of in a weird situation where now, you know, 4v5. And if 5 wasn't low enough in terms of the amount of players on a team, 4 is absolutely detrimental. So now you're obviously having to run maybe 1 support or 1 DPS or even no tank, because you're playing role cube, etc. So is it real? 100% it is real. So that's what I wanted to start off with. Now let's see, how can you escape ELO hell? How can you actually get out of it? And I have a very simple solution for you guys here. The best thing you want to do to escape ELO hell is find a team. I cannot stress this point enough, and I swear to you, it worked for me so well. Find a team. So the best way to do this is when you join a game, you can do it with the enemy team or your team. It's much easier with your team because enemy team won't really add you as a friend. Notice who's good in your lobby. Notice who's good. Obviously, all these tips are assuming you are good. So if you are bad, you're the problem. These tips won't apply to you, right? So if you're good but someone else is throwing, whenever you play any game, notice who the good players are, right? Add them. Make them your friends. Play with them. And then eventually you'll grow your friend list where you're just kind of full with honestly good people that you can play with, and then form a team and play. Playing random queue versus playing with a group is a whole different beast. And I would go on rolls where I win 20 games in a row. I'll join random queue without my team and I'll like literally lose 5 games in a row. That can't be me, and I'm not getting carried because my kill to death ratio is still the same. It's just random queue is extremely a roll dice play. You don't know who you're going to get. AFKers, DPS Myra, you don't know. That's the whole point of it, right? So to escape ELO hell, first of all, especially that bronze to plat range, I would say more bronze to gold, because once you hit plat, most people kind of know what they're doing and they don't AFK in games, etc. They don't have Timmy's and Joe's crying in the background. Then you want to find a team. Get out of that, and then you can join random queue. That's the best tip for you there, how to escape ELO hell. Alright, the next problem with the Overwatch 2 rank system is, you probably guessed it, and honestly, it's just a balancing and countering hero / pick issue. That's what it is. So let's first start with a balancing issue. So this kind of depends on what rank you're in. Let's just make it fair for everyone. Let's just say you're a diamond rank, because I think that's kind of like a safe median. Although to be quite honest, for the general community, a gold or a plat is a more conservative median. But let's say you're like plat or diamond, for instance, right? Typically speaking, you're gonna have SOJOURNs kind of dominating your games, right? When you climb up in the ranks, let's say you get close to top 500, Grandmaster, Master, etc., you're gonna have Mercies with god tier movement that you as a hit scanner are gonna struggle to hit. So kind of depends where you're at. So let's just say in general, the current meta is dominated by SOJOURN. SOJOURN is a big problem, and to be quite honest, as a SOJOURN main myself, I do admit she's a problem. And I think there was a miscommunication in my previous video. You guys maybe kind of assumed I'm justifying why SOJOURN is OP, and someone called me a SOJOURN apologist, which, you know, I don't really see it that way. In my perspective, she's broken, but she's broken with high skills. But in general, she is a huge problem. So now what you have in many games is basically a SOJOURN meta where if your SOJOURN is better than the enemy SOJOURN, you win that game automatically. Unless there's a key here, your tank is throwing or a DPS is throwing. Assuming both teams are balanced in a way where everyone is decently good or just average or bad in general, so the teams are pretty even. If the SOJOURNs are different, the better SOJOURN team will win, period. Now let's say you have a SOJOURN on your team who's decent versus an Ashe on the other team who's decent. Most likely the SOJOURN team will win once again. So what does that tell you? It shows you that hero is broken. So people are just kind of forced to play the hero. Now in my opinion, she's fun. And I saw some comments in my previous video that are saying that she's not fun. SOJOURN, you know, you kind of have to play her, otherwise you lose and it's not really fun. To me, she's fun. I mean, I'm not really focusing too much on the fact that I have to play her to win. At the end of the day, she's really fun. You know, sliding in your E, helping you tunnel in, get the corridors, get the line of sight, making sure you're getting some crisp headshots. And honestly, like, I think her playstyle is pretty fun. You guys can disagree, that's completely fine, right? But that's what the current issue is when it comes to SOJOURN. Other problems, let's say you play Roadhog, the enemy team is forced to, for example, play Ryan, so you can have your shield up, block the hooks. So there's a lot of counter picks where it's not very counterintuitive in that sense, right? So you're kind of forced to play a hero, the enemy team is forced to play another hero, which doesn't really leave it up for, you know, I guess different play styles or creativity there. So we kind of tunnel vision all these players in Overwatch 2 in the rank system to having to play a certain meta, which I don't think is healthy for the game. So that's kind of a big deal. So we kind of have to focus on the balancing first before we fix the countering and counter heroes issue. Now, hopefully this hot fix that's coming later this week, or honestly, by the time you guys see this video, it might already be out. Kind of depends on when Alan, obviously kind of like the main guy for Overwatch and Blizzard, decides to have it out. So we'll have to wait and see if they do save Season 2. But from the current looks of it, people are not really having a lot of fun in the ranked system because the meta, being forced to play certain heroes, the balance issues, the list goes on and on and on. Add on to that ELO hell, the whole ranked system in Overwatch is just not healthy, and I think that's something they definitely do have to focus on. And yeah, I hope you guys once again enjoyed this video. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed these things I went over. I wanted to tackle Overwatch 2 ranked problem and ELO hell in the same video because I think they go hand in hand, right? I mean, you have ELO hell in ranked. So as promised, you guys, the video is out, and this is the video right here. So once again, if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely do consider subscribing. 99% of you guys are not subscribed, so if you watch this far into the video, definitely consider subscribing. And I hope you guys are enjoying Season 2 so far. I'll keep the videos coming. I'll mix it up with some gameplay, some tips, updates, etc. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.